little while back I did a review of sorts on the Guinever sanding system. It's produced by King Arthur Tools, and I wanted to do a small update on that because one of the main problems I had at the time was with this pump that you use to blow these attachments for the sanding paper, and I maybe have found a solution for me. I don't necessarily recommend it for everybody, but it certainly seems to work okay for me. It may be unsafe, so always wear safety glasses when you're doing something like this. I'm not going to. That's just me. But anyway, basically the problem with the air pump and these bladders is that if you'll notice, there's two different sizes of attachment here. That one's a small one, and that's quite a bit bigger. I think you can see that maybe. Anyway, that was a problem because it requires manipulation. You can't just pick the pump up and do both of them. And the pump itself is kind of plastic. It seems cheap, but it actually still works, so maybe it just seems that way to me. But one thing that is true is right here on the top, if you look at this box, you see a little copper fitting right here. And that's the thing that you have to take on and off, loosen it and whatnot. And anyway, I lost mine. So I don't know where it's at. I probably blew it out with some sawdust at some point or something. So, and I think I would do it again. If I ordered like 30 of them, I'd lose 30 of them. I don't like that. But anyway, in order to use this, you have to balance it on here, hold it with one hand, and pump it. Now you can do that. It does work. But geez, if you have some sort of hand problems, if you have arthritic hands, this is not, I mean, it's not difficult, but it's not as easy as just, blowing air into it. And that copper thing is what somehow is supposed to hold that on the larger spigot here. Alright, so I don't like this, and that was the main problem. Other than that, I love the machine and everything else about it, and the ease of use. I like all of that. Just this. So what I've discovered is that I can in fact take an air hose with no attachments at all, and just, there's a couple ways you can do this. One, you can just blow it, nothing, okay. As you can see, it comes off and on, right? So you put it wherever you want it, and that does it. It's on. That's all it takes. But you have to be careful. If you hold it on there, it will really blow up and possibly pop the ends off. That's where the eye protection comes in. So that works on the big one. Even though this is pretty easy to use, the littler one, it's pretty easy to use with this because it actually fits over that. So if you can deal with the holding of this and balancing, that actually works. But why bother? In my mind, why bother? You can still take this and you don't put it right up against it necessarily. There you go. So why they make such a big deal out of this contraption, why they feel the need to make two different sizes, beyond me, but they do. Comes a die ball. And the other thing, originally when I started, because I didn't know that I could just hold it out there and blow it like that, I took one of these, I call it a basketball key, but it's the thing you put in rubber balls to do them. And you just drop that inside, and then you can actually make a pretty good connection with that. But it's really not needed, but that's another option. And if you get it too tight, that's what the little Allen wrench that's supplied with the kit is. You just undo an end and wiggle it, and that's how it comes off. Okay? And like I said, don't overinflate it. Now, that's pretty good. Now, working on intarsia, you want that give. You want some give anyway. But it has to be tight enough to hold the sleeves on. Otherwise, they roll off as it spins. Whoa, now see there, that's the problem. That's what you don't want to do. And this is where there's a lot of pressure. So I'm going to put my glasses on now. But you just undo it. Okay. Let the air out. Now that's a real big problem when you're doing it without the sandpaper on it. But if you slide the sandpaper on, you can, in fact, gives a little more structure. There. Gives it a little more firmness, you know what I mean? A little more structure to it, so it's not as apt to blow up like that. But what can happen is, especially when you're releasing the this thing, taking that off, because once you unscrew this, it becomes a projectile, and with a ballooned up thing like that, it will go quite a ways, trust me. So always wear this. I don't recommend doing it this way. It works for me. It's an alternative. Try it if you're relatively safe with it. I don't think it's a problem. So anyway, I just wanted to do a short update. I've solved my problem now. I don't have any problems at all with the Guinever. As long as I can use an air hose, it's just here and handy to blow these things up. I'm all fine with it. I'll probably never use this again, but who knows. So anyway, thank you, and I just wanted to do that before I get started on my next intarsia project, because I don't break up the filming once I start filming a project. I like to just do that project until it's over. So anyway, that's it. That's the update. Thanks for watching, and maybe you learned something, maybe you didn't, but don't blame me if you pop your eye out with this thing. It's just an alternative. I like it. Be safe. Wear your protective gear at all times, whether it's a saw or air hose or a hammer, you know. Just be careful. Thanks.